On today's ride, we've got just enough daylight left, so we're making a quick run up to Sly Creek Reservoir to check out the lake. It's an early evening ride, nothing fancy, just two wheels and an open road. Stick around and ride with me. Do you ever look at the weather forecast and think, if I don't ride today, I'm not going to ride for another 2 weeks? We've got weather coming in, rain, cold, probably a little snow up in the mountains, and I knew this was my last chance to get out for a while. So I left a little later than I normally would like, which if you ride, you already know that's how some stories start. So I headed from my hometown of Paradise to Sly Creek Reservoir. If you know Northern California backroads, you know this route is pretty fun. Rolling in to Forbestown. Forbestown dates back to the gold rush days, mid-1800s. It was a supply town, miners, lumber, rough terrain, and hard living. You can still feel that old Sierra foothill grit when you roll through this place. These little towns have seen some things. Next up, Challenge. Challenge got its name because building the roads up there were exactly that, a challenge. Steep terrain, remote logging country, it still feels tucked away from the world. You start climbing here, the air changes, the temperature drops. Then Woodleaf. It's tiny, blink and you'll miss it. Woodleaf Camp in California began as a gold rush era stagecoach stop, with a brick hotel built back in 1858 serving travelers between Oroville and Quincy. In 1966, the Christian missionary organization Young Life purchased the former Milltown site and turned it into a summer camp. Since 1968, Woodleaf has hosted youth for outdoor adventures and faith-based programs in the Sierra Nevada foothills. Making our final turn down to Sly Creek Reservoir, it's about this time that I started noticing the light dropping faster than I liked. The clouds were thickening up, the temperature was falling, and I knew I had left later than I should have. There's something about being up in the mountains when it starts getting dark that humbles you real quick. Cell service gets real spotty, wildlife starts moving, and the corners, they get harder to read. But then we pull up to Sly Creek Reservoir, and it was absolutely worth it. Still water, mountain air, that quiet that only happens right before a storm. It was one of those moments where everything just goes still. If you've made it this far and you're enjoying this content, please do me a favor, like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. This was the part of the ride that I was really wishing that I would have left a little bit earlier. I found this dirt road that on the map, it looked like it may have had some cool stuff on the other end of it. But, I got so far down there and I decided I really probably don't have the time for this tonight. That just gives me another excuse to come back. Riding just does something to the soul. It reminds me of how small I am and how big God is. Psalms 121, 1 and 2. I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Standing there, looking at those hills, you can really feel that. Now here's the part of the ride that I don't love. It got darker faster than I expected. Those mountain roads at night, with weather moving in, that's a different ride. Every shadow looks like a deer, every corner feels tighter, every mile feels just a little bit longer. But here's what I realized. Isaiah 41:10, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And somewhere between the shadows and the sound of that engine humming, the gratitude took over. It wasn't just a ride before the storm. It was a reminder that even when the road gets dark and uncertain, I'm never riding alone. God is faithful in the sunshine, and He's faithful when the light fades. And sometimes that last ride before the storm ends up being the one you needed the most. Hey, I really appreciate you watching this all the way to the end. It means a lot to me. See you next time.